Hey, thanks very much. And Ben, congratulations on the win. First of all, I was just wondering if you could talk us through your performance tonight.
What I think.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it was a couple of interviews I've been saying I was ready for April 19th. I was good to go, and then April was just seriously one of the worst months of my life. I was putting on a game face this week, just such a roller coaster ride. Uh, Went through hell, and unfortunately, a performance showed it. It was hard. I mean, it was a hard fight. Luckily, St. Preux was he was in rough shape too, so we just slobber knocked each other, and luckily I got a few more through. Split decision was a little disappointing because I still feel I was getting the better hand. I know a couple times I slipped. That's why I popped up so fast to say, "Come on, I slipped." I crushed him in the head with a couple knees though, and I think one or two more of those would have got through. I could have ended the fight. I think a healthy version of myself, I still end that fight in the first or second round. So that's why I'm disappointed.
Now, you mentioned, I mean, he was a heavyweight essentially, and I assume he felt like a heavyweight in there.
Yeah, he was everything of a heavyweight. I said before the fight, I go, I feel sorry for the light heavyweights. The guy's huge, but his big advantage in those fights was his size. And against me, I feel he didn't fight like I really thought he was going to shoot more. I thought he was going to do things more, and he just kind of was running. I think your game plan was, oh, let's get him tired. I ride a bicycle a lot too, so I'll bicycle with you, and it just showed me controlling the cage most of the fight. So I don't think that really helped him. Just made me look dominant.
Now, you mentioned during fight week, I mean, time is sort of against some of the older heavyweights, some of the veterans in the division. Because of that, getting the fight in was important. With that in mind, I mean, how much longer? Do you have a time frame in mind for how much longer you intend to keep going in this?
Unfortunately, guys like Oleinik, Verdum, Mark Hunt in the past, Randy Couture, I'll keep going. These guys fight. Aleksei Oleinik. I mean, that guy. I mean, I battled over him, but those guys know I look up to him. Him and Andrei Arlovsky. I look up to these guys. They're deep in their 40s and they're fighting hard, so they really motivate me to keep going. And I I know I've had some good victories in the past, but I think just the competition has gotten tougher. So I'm not really showing yet just how much better I'm getting. And I said my body weight really shows a lot what I'm going through. I got a lot against me outside of all this, and so for me to come down and walk around, my new walk around weight's like 268. I'm really proud of that. It's been really hard work. I can walk around 310 pounds easy. So I got a new goal. My weight's going to keep dropping, and I really feel through that. My conditioning is going to continue to improve. I'm going to get faster, and you're really going to start seeing some more well-roundedness in my game.
And last one for me, you mentioned Aleksei Oleinik in that list of the older guys. You called him out tonight. I mean, obviously, he's coming off a win, but besides from that, why that call it?
Because he beat Verdum. It was a Verdum was somebody that I was supposed to fight in the past. Just a huge win for Oleinik. He looked, really good. I just think it'd be a great fight. I even think that fight put him maybe back in the rankings. So that's where I need to get to. I need to fight one of the top guys, and he's kind of right at that cusp now, and somebody I haven't fought yet. So rock and roll.
All right, congratulations, Ben. Best of luck.
We'll go next to Luis Green with MMA Crazy. Your line is open.
Hi, Ben. Just going off of that last question, how do you see a fight with Oleinik going down?
I think it'd be exciting. That's why I asked for it. You see the way he came out against Verdum? He just came out throwing crazy. The fight was up, down. Just looks like a gritty fight, and I think it'd be great for the fans. I think I don't think he's going to run like this fight here. I think he's going to come at me, and that's going to make for a very exciting fight.
And I think this was your third change of opponent, I think, going into this fight.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about your preparation, especially during the current times that we're in?
I said it was a roller coaster ride. April was hell. I was supposed to fight Volante. Good fight. I was training since January. Was ready to go in the middle of March, and then everything went down. By the beginning of April, Volante said, "There's no way." Totally understand. He's in New York. Obviously, super bad situation. And I was just happy they called with another fight. It was an actual heavyweight, and we signed it. We were going to do it. And his situation became dire because of the situation with everything going on. So that dropped off. But the day that he dropped, St. Preux took the fight. So I was kind of like, hey, and I didn't have too much of an up down, but there was just so much up down with the opponents and just things back home. You know, Wisconsin governor came down pretty hard to close my gym. Just, you know, a lot of stuff closed. Just going to the grocery store became a chore. So it was a really hard time. And, you know, I'm just happy that we got through it, and even happier that the UFC fought so hard to get these fights in because we really needed it. So again, so thankful to everybody.
So you know, with that in mind, when do you see yourself getting back in there again?
It's going to be kind of up to my opponents. I've looked a lot worse in fights. I have no injuries. My weight's really good right now. So hopefully in the next couple months, talk to the UFC and see if they want to make that fight or who they want to do. And sounds like the UFC is going full tilt. They're going to keep doing shows. So hopefully I can hop on again this summer.
And just last one from me. John Jones tweeted after your fight, and he said he visualized himself in there, obviously seeing OSP as a light heavyweight fighting at heavyweight. And that's something that John Jones has obviously been quite vocal about, is moving up to heavyweight. How do you think John Jones would do?
I think John Jones is a guy that can win fights, you know, pretty much everywhere. He's just a very skilled athlete. I said the same thing about a guy like Khabib. I believe Khabib could beat guys bigger than him. You know, when you're a talented fighter, that's what a fighter is. A real true fighter doesn't pick weight classes. It's just, that's the way our sport is. But a true fighter goes out and fight anybody. And John Jones obviously is. And that's how I feel. I feel if there was a super heavyweight division, I'd be a reigning champion for sure. I would be taking on guys bigger than me. That's why I'm the Honey Badger. I don't give up.
Thank you so much. Congrats on the win.
Next question comes from Shaquille Majuri with MMA Mania. Your line is open.
Hey Ben, just one question for me. You know, sometimes when people get hit, they've got different responses. You saw OSP kind of, you know, make a break for it, try and recompose himself. Other guys like Alex Hernandez tonight go for a takedown. You're scary, dude. You run after these guys and you get hit and you start swinging. Where does that sort of response come from to just press forward and keep the pressure on?
That's just part of my DNA, I believe. You know, I'm a fighter. I'm one of those guys that once I get hit a little bit, I pick it up. You know, some guys, we've always said I've been doing this for 20 years. We recognize that some guys are very talented with jiu-jitsu and their skill set, but they get hit, they break, they really fall apart. And that's just something that's been with me, that you can't let that happen. You get hit, I'm gonna hit you back 3 times. So it's just about gritting down in the mouthpiece and getting angry. And, you know, you just hit me. So that's not cool. Now I'm gonna hit you. And it's just the mentality.
It was fun to
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.